All right, let's get into some of the top prospects in fantasy, whether they're in the majors or minors. Maybe we could see some of these soon. Let's get started here, George, in the second hour of Fantasy Sports Today. We'll start off with the hottest prospect drafted the earliest, probably in all leagues, and that is Roman Anthony, who has really not done much since he's come up. He does have a home run, which we made a big deal about because he got the ball back. He was very happy about that. Five runs driven and one stolen base, and hitting under 100. So we obviously know, George, there's nothing to worry about here. But at the same time, I mean, you're playing in a weekly league right now, and you're staring at this guy's name, and you're looking at the week before, and you have to make the decision tomorrow. Do I put him in my lineup based on what I've seen, or do I sit him on the bench? I mean, it's not clear. I mean, my guess is most people are going to be like, all right, I'm going to ride it. I'm just going to keep riding this until it happens. But if you did that with Christian Campbell, you rode that all the way to the minors.
Now, Roman Anthony's going to be a star, maybe a superstar. He's going to be a star. I don't know what's going to be this year, next year. You know, we bring this up all the time. Yeah, Mike Trout, when he was first called up, was sent back down. He struggled. Yeah, we're seeing that with Anthony. I have no doubt this kid's going to hit eventually. He's going to be a very good player. We just talked about Nick Kurtz earlier in the show, right? Now, he wasn't very good when he first got called up either. Now he has 5 home runs in the past, 7 games. All right, Caglianone, who's been up and down, had 4 hits one game, hit a couple home runs in one game. Other than that, hasn't really done all that much. So the bottom line is this with Roman Anthony. Yeah, I think he's going to hit. I do. Am I starting him next week? Probably not. All right, probably not. It's a daily lineup league. You go day by day. Weekly lineup league, assuming I have somebody who's decent, I'm going to want to wait for him to hit before I start putting him in my lineup again. I can't take these numbers anymore. All right, I've said he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. I just don't know when that is. I want to get someone else in my lineup where they can help me now. I don't mind missing a week of his production rather than taking the numbers we just saw there up on the board here. So I'll miss a week. I'll be a week too late rather than a week too early.
We talked about Nick Kurtz, in case you missed it, about 30 minutes ago, of the Sacramento A's. Just don't look at these numbers here because they're meaningless. Look at what this guy has done in the past week. And, I mean, I'm guessing he's pretty much owned in most of these leagues. As you can see there, those are the weekly numbers. That's kind of crazy here. George kind of said it best here, too. I mean, we don't know if the park factor is really the saving grace here for a lot of these guys on the A's. But for the time being, I mean, this is a must play. That's it.
I mean, he could go 0 for 8, today and tomorrow combined, and maybe we rethink this. But yeah, he starts. All right. Maybe he's someone who has figured out. Maybe he is going to struggle here. If you're wondering about next week, I'm looking at it. I mean, all right. They play at Detroit. Is he going to miss? He's going to get Scooble. All right, maybe he's not someone I'm going to throw in there. Then they play at the Yankee Stadium. Not worried about Yankee Stadium. But he does get Scooble on Monday. It's only a 6-game week, and maybe you don't want him on Tuesday. Sorry, not Monday there. Get Scooble. After that, it's Flaherty, Schmidt, Warren, Yarbrough. I'm not worried about the rest of the stars. He does miss Max Fried and Rodon for the Yankees. He misses those 2 lefties there. I'm likely still putting him in, but the fact that he's pretty much just a 5-day player, it wouldn't shock me also, by the way, if he's off on Tuesday. They give him that day off to not face Scooble here, so keep that in mind as well. If you have somebody, if you're going to sit someone who's pretty good, maybe you don't want to do it next week. I want to start Kurtz, but the Scooble start, the fact that he may only be 5 games does give me some pause.
Here's a perplexing one, George. Want your thoughts here. Sam Basallo of the Baltimore Orioles, another catching prospect that we are going to see eventually in the big leagues. 266, 15 home runs, 31s driven in. The Orioles have been asked for him in trades, George, for like 3 years. They refused to trade the guy. They have a catcher in Adley Rutschman here. I don't know what's going on here, man. Like, I mean, he probably, George, is it fair to say if he was on another team, he'd be up and playing right now? Like, I don't know what the plan is for him. I know he's going to be a good player for someone and somewhere, but that's the only insight I can provide here. Another half a season of him in the minors.
Now, catchers takes a little bit longer to develop here, so you can make they're keeping him down there to learn the catching position. He can hit. He can absolutely rake. This guy has got power galore here. Now, Rutschman, by the way, sat last night. Abdominal tightness. So could there be an IL stint coming here? All right, if there is, I think Basallo gets called up. almost immediately to be the catcher for this team, but we don't know that yet. The lineup is not out yet for today's game. Just checking here to make sure. Is it out? Did Baltimore put it out? No, not yet. So we don't know if Reuteman's in there or not for the game. So I am curious about this. Listen, you can make it argument they could call Basalel to be with DH, right? Or just him DH, Reutemann DH there. They're going to need to figure this out. All right, they're both catchers. You're not going to platoon these guys. They both need to play every day here. I guess theoretically one could go to first base. DH could do that sort of thing with Ryan O'Hearn. Maybe they wait till a trade deadline to figure this all out here. But Basallo is going to be a very good hitter for this team. And I think it's coming sooner rather than later. I would assume this gets figured out within the next month.
All right. Now let's get to the player that I think is a must play here, George. I think it's starting to happen here for Jack Caglione. I look 220 in a week. That's nothing. Starting to see the ball a little bit better. Royals called him up for a reason. And look, I think, like Rick Roman Anthony, I think this kid is going to be a superstar too. The only question I have is he ever going to pitch? Because he was a great pitcher at the University of Florida too. But you got to be crazy to sit him, I think. I think you got to plug him in.
I mean, he's only got 3 hits in his last 17 at-bats. So what is it, 4, 8, 12, 19
How many does he have?
I mean, so I'm going to be a little concerned about him. I don't like the fact that they switched his position. Remember, he's a first baseman. They put him in the outfield. You wonder if that's concerning him. He didn't look great in the outfield versus the Yankees when they were there. I haven't seen many games from him in the outfield since there, but he looked a little bit out of place here. So I don't like when they move young players here. I hate when they do that. I understand Pasquantino's got to play too, but ask him to switch positions here for a guy who's a very good hitter. Him and Anthony are a little different. Anthony's a better overall hitter. Cags is going to have more power. Whether that's going to play in Kaufman, that's a different question here. As Kaufman's not built for that power here. Listen, if it came down to Cags or Kurtz, I'd rather have Kurtz than Cags right now. I do think overall, long-term, Cags is probably the better player here, but these guys are all going to be great. Caglione, at least I think they're going to be great. Caglione, Kurtz, Roman Anthony, they're all going to be fantastic players here. But whether or not you're starting them this week or not is a much tougher question here. I kind of lean yes with Cags, but haven't really seen it yet to be a definite. Like I said, he's only got 4 hits in his last 19 at-bats, something like that. He's not exactly tearing the cover off the ball, but if you wanted power, he'd be probably the guy I'm looking for here, but not convinced yet that his time is now.
All right, we're not going to have time to get to all of these players here, so we're going to go rapid fire here a little bit, George. Players in the minors. Bubba Chandler, starting pitcher of Pittsburgh. Just a matter of when, not if. It feels like the Pirates know they're out, so no rush. Andrew Painter on Philadelphia, a little bit of a mixed bag here, probably can wait a little bit. And then everyone seems to think the next player to get called up to the big leagues, George, is this guy, Chase Burns, who struck out 89 in 66 innings. And the Reds don't have Terry Francona to not win now, right, George? Like his window is immediate. So we're going to see him soon.
I hope so. I might be a little bit worried about Great American Small Park when he gets called up there, but still, I like Chase Burns a lot, like the strikeouts there. Painter's somebody I'm keeping an eye on. Philadelphia, we like that good team, score some runs here. Struggled a little bit lately in his minor league starts here, but still like Painter as well here. Chandler, Skeens all over again. He's not as good as Skeens, but he's going to pitch well and not get wins because they can't hit. All right, it's just going to be it's going to be a 3-category guy again for you there, but I love Bubba Chandler. I think Chandler's the best of these 3, by the way, just that he's going to be in the worst situation.
All right, so let's do this. We got to take a quick time out on fantasy sports today. When we come back, we'll preview all of the games this weekend. We'll start off with Tigers, Rays, then move to Orioles, Yankees, and then, of course, we got the Brewers taking on the Twins. If you want to download the SportsGrid app, just take out your phone and scan this QR code. It's available for both iOS and Android. SportsGrid app, completely free, as we stream for free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're watching Fantasy Sports Today on SportsGrid. We'll be right back.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way, and now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to Fantasy Sports Today here on SportsGrid. I'm Craig Mish along with George Kurtz. Let's take a look at the fantasy baseball preview for the weekend. We'll start off here, George, with the Tigers and Rays. Some good pitching matchups here to come. One of our top starters of the week, Sam liked Ryan Pepio. Does Sam like him again today against Sawyer Gibson Long? Casey Mize against Zach Littell coming up on Sunday. I mean, two teams, George, honestly, that could be facing off in the postseason this year.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock anybody, right? They're both playing very well. Detroit has the best record in the American League, 48 wins. And Tampa Bay's, I guess, the hottest team in baseball, certainly one of them with the way they're playing here. This game starts at noon today. I'm guessing it's because to avoid the heat in Tampa. Small guess there. So good pitching matchup. We'll see. Pepio's a guy. Like I said, I do wonder when the bubble's going to burst a little bit here. So, but I'm starting him while he's hot here. And the Tiger pitchers almost always go for me. Good, solid pitching staff there. I do wonder, I know it won't be the Rays, but I do wonder the Tigers, what's going to be that big addition they make by the deadline? Because I think they're making at least one, maybe two.
Orioles take on the Yankees today. We've got Zach Eflin facing off against Clark Schmidt. And then Sunday, Dean Kramer takes on Will Warren. Man, I think you know what, honestly, I would normally say I think some runs are coming in the game like this, but it's the Yankees right now, so I'm not sure.
Listen, if you're listening to me on In-Game Live, whatever, you know, listen, you're betting against the Yankees scoring runs right now. You're taking the unders with the Yankee team total. You're betting against the Yankees so they prove otherwise they can hit. I know they scored 7 against the Angels Thursday. Other than that, 3 runs is like, wow, the Yankees scored 3 runs. Amazing here. As we talked earlier in the show, Judge looks like he might be coming out of it, so that should help there. He did hit the home run at 3 hits last night, so maybe he is figuring it out there. I just have a feeling, I don't think there's going to be many runs scored today. I think Eflin's going to shut the Yankees down, and Clark Schmidt has looked solid. Really most of the season here. So I don't think many runs are coming today. Yankees lost 7 of 8. They're certainly not going to sweep the next 2 games. They're really hoping for a split, which is kind of scary to say for the Yankees. Not playing well right now.
All right, we've got the Brewers and the Twins coming up also later today. Let's take a look at the pitching matchups, George. Jose Quintana against Simeon Woods Richardson. Sunday, Quinn Priester takes on David Festa. Boy, I mean, this is must-see TV here this weekend. No offense, Brewers and Twins. I mean, okay. Here's my guess. By the way, George, here's my guess. Brewers shut them out. Right? Like, it just doesn't matter who they pitch.
Yeah, Twins can't hit. All right, they're playing awful baseball right now. I don't know about shutouts, but I'll definitely take the Brewers to win these games here. I think runs are coming too. I think the Brewers are still hitting last night. What, they scored 20 last night? Something silly like that against the Twins here. Yelich had like 8 RBIs, and that's not a joke. It's what he had. I think it continues here. Twins are struggling over and over again. Runs are coming here. I know I'll be on the over in this game.
We've got the Reds taking on the Cardinals, and Saturday we've got Brent Suter against Sonny Gray. Sunday's matchup is interesting, George. This kid, Andrew Abbott's finally starting to deliver the fantasy promise that we thought he would against Miles Michaelis. Some people call him Michaelis. That's not right. His name is Michaelis.
Miles. We'll just call him Miles there. As a Yankee fan, Yankees play Cincinnati Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Very happy that Abbott will not be pitching against them because he is developing into that ace, especially in that ballpark here. And, of course, we got Sonny Gray going today, so not expecting runs there. And the Reds generally just don't play well at Busch. Keep that in mind there. It's not a very good team at Busch. For whatever reason, they just don't like that stadium here. Got to love the Cardinals today. Of course, you're going to bet on it. You're going to pay for it with Gray against Butler. Tomorrow going to be a little different. It's like expecting more of a pitching matchup tomorrow there with Abbott going here. I think they split these games.
Mariners take on the Cubs Saturday. Emerson Hancock against Cade Horton. Sunday, Logan Gilbert against the ever wonderless Chicago Cubs and the player that is going to be around for 30 years, George, Colin Ray. How many years has Colin Ray been pitching in the big league?
I'll have to look that up for you. It's in the Battle
15?
of I think it's is it really been that long? I don't think it's 15. I'll take the under. I'll definitely take the under on that. I'll take the under on 10.
11, I'll say.
Okay. 10.5. I think I might still go a little under 7.
7.
Hey, thank you. I cashed that ticket. Yeah, but he is a guy that I understand what Greg's saying. He's going to be around forever. He's going to be a major league pitcher. Never great, never bad. Just pitches, right? Has a career, and that's really in some ways all you can ask for here. Hancock and Horton, not exactly a sexy matchup there between two playoff teams right now. Gilbert tomorrow for the Mariners. They would certainly like to see him be that ace they need him to be, right? Figure it out. He just comes back from injury there. Colin Ray just a jag. Really a couple of guys for the Cubs this weekend. They're Jags. It's just another guy there, so we'll see with the Rays and Cubs. But I'm feeling runs coming today. Tomorrow, maybe not so much.
White Sox and Blue Jays. Aaron Savali wanted out. They got him to the Chicago White Sox. Damn, why don't we lead with that on the show? The big Savali on the show against Jose Barrios, and then Sunday we'll figure out the matchups for the White Sox. Does it really matter? No. Chris Bassett pitches for Toronto.
It should be a sweep for Toronto, right? Playing better ball here. I know they lost last night. I think they got shellacked last night. It was 7-1 by Chicago. I got to assume it's the last game they'll win of the series here, and Blue Jays will take care of business. Have been playing better ball here, right? The Yankees will let everybody back in the American League. If you lose 8 of 9 or 7 of 8, whatever it is, you're going to let people back in here. Jays have a really good roster, and another team that I think will make a big move by the deadline to add to that team, especially if the division is wide open, which right now it does seem to be here. Yeah, I like the Jays this weekend.
Red Sox Giants. That's the premier matchup of the weekend. Brian Bayo, Landon Roop today. Lucas Giolito coming off a great start. Robbie Ray, Cy Young Award candidate in the National League. Wow, great matchup Sunday, George.
Yeah, I assume that might be the ESPN game, although I'm far from certain. It could be the Mets to Philadelphia as well here. But Giants have played very well. Robbie Ray's looked great this year. They're so start last time. He's literally looked great. The only question with Ray is throwing strikes. Sometimes he loses control of the strike zone. I think Giolito probably comes back down to earth there. Ruben Bello is an underrated pitching matchup today.
Rangers and Pirates. Let's sneak this one in. Kumar Rocker, Mitch Keller, Jack Leiter. A lot of strikeouts coming for him against Bailey Falter. Falter actually been okay for Pittsburgh.
Want to see those two young pitchers for the Rangers, right? Rooker and Leiter. See if they can do anything. Rocker and Leiter. See if they can do anything, right? Be that player. I still think one ends up being the closer for this team.
We'll preview the game that I'll be at later today. Coming up next, Braves and Marlins. Don't go away.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back, because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling
Finally.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to Fantasy Sports Today as we preview the weekend matchups in fantasy baseball. Let's go back to it, George. I'll be on the broadcast later today before I head out on vacation here. Braves and Marlins. Grant Holmes has done such a nice job for the Atlanta Braves. We know Yuri Perez is going to get it going for the Marlins, too. On Sunday, Bryce Elder starts for Atlanta, and Miami has Sandy Alcantara, who his last two starts looks exactly like the Sandy Alcantara we've been waiting for all season.
Yeah, right. And that's really what where my eyeballs will be is on Alcantara, because I still think once he turns around, he looks good again now. He could get dealt. He could be the major guy getting dealt that could really turn around a playoff. If he goes to Boston, or the Dodgers or someone like that, he could really make them the favorite. I mean, Dodgers are already the favorites here. Goes to Detroit, where they can make big moves here. So I'm very curious to see what will happen with Alcantara over the next 6 weeks here. Does he keep pitching well? Does he get moved here? Very curious. Still wondering why the Braves does. I mean, they started Fuentes last night, Holmes, Elder, Sales, Schwellenbach, Strider. Why did you feel the need to throw did you just think you would automatically beat Miami no matter who you threw out there last night? Just found that strange. Didn't work out well for you at all. This is why I just don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. Not with this bottom of the pitching rotation here, and they keep losing to teams they should beat here. So I think they'll split this weekend with Miami.
Royals and Padres. Noah Cameron has done a pretty good job here for KC. Starts against Dylan Cease. Always does a good job for the Padres. Seth Lugo goes on Sunday against Randy Vasquez. This is for the Royals, George. I mean, they got to be careful here. They're falling too far back.
Not hitting, right? You already said Cameron's pitched pretty well for them, since calling up. He's another guy who's a pitcher. He's not a thrower. He's a pitcher, sort of old time here. And Lugo's come back and looked pretty good as well. Dylan Cease, by the way, has not pitched all that well for San Diego. I don't know, can he beat that guy over the second half? As far as acquiring somebody, he might be somebody you want to go out and acquire because you don't have to pay full price for him. You might want to take a shot on Dylan Cease there. So Kansas City, got to start the hit.
Mets take on the Phillies in the battle of first place in the National League East. Griffin Canning is the Mets starter against Mick Abel. And then Sunday, David Peterson starts for New York against Jesus Luzardo, who seems to have right the ship now after, I guess it was, George, after like 20 runs in 2 starts, they looked and said, oh, you're tipping your pitches. They got that fixed.
Yeah, they did, right? That's what the rumor was there, that he was tipping it. They figured it out. So tomorrow night, I think Sam Toll said it, that is the ESPN game, the night game tomorrow. So certainly looking forward to that. Should be a good pitching matchup. Today, Abel, the youngster, pretty good earlier this week here. We'll see what's happening. Mets have lost 6, 7 in a row here. I know I'm seeing on my the Twitter feed that people are flipping out here. Our old friend Mark Healy saying this is one of the worst stretches he's ever seen of Mets baseball. So I know at this point, I think the Mets would just take a split this weekend and be happy.
Yeah, I think so too. The big start, of course, coming Sunday is going to be Shohei Ohtani. But by start, I don't really know what that means. Maybe it means 2 innings. Maybe it means 3 innings. I'm not really sure. He'll face off with Michael Soroka. But Saturday, it is Jake Irvin and Dustin May. But, George, what would you project for Ohtani? I mean, I know over the course of the year, Ohtani 5, 6 innings. But could he go 3 innings, you think, Sunday? Is that a stretch?
I mean, if you believe the team, they said he's going to go 1 inning each time, 1 inning plus. So he went 1 inning first, so he'll go 2 innings tomorrow. But if he only throws 17 pitches, I would think he'd go a 3rd inning. Right? That's the way I wouldn't put him on an inning limit. Maybe a pitch limit, sure. Pitch count, 30, 32, 30, whatever it might be here. But I'm not putting him on an inning. Maybe he gets through it quickly. What if he throws 78 pitches in the 1st inning? Then he's not going to go a 2nd inning. Whatever it might be. He'll be we're not really going to see the true Ohtani until probably after the All-Star break. I think that'd be the earliest you would think about putting him in your fantasy rotation here. But yeah, all eyeballs will be on that.
All right, we've got the Diamondbacks taking on the Rockies. Rockies starting to play a little better here. Finally, Merrill Keller against Carson Palmquist, and then Sunday, Brandon Pfaadt against Antonio Senzatella. That's the game Sunday to bet the over. That's all I got for you.
I think any game in Colorado might be the game to bet the over. I don't know if Kelly's going to do all that better today either here. For Arizona, you got to put W's together. I don't care playing, you got to be Colorado. And you said it, Colorado is playing better, right? Which is not very difficult for them. They couldn't play any worse than they were earlier this year, but they are playing better. But Arizona has to string W's together, especially if they want ownership to go out there and buy them another pitcher. City Alcantara, keep saying that. Whatever they feel like they might need here, but they have to they have to beat who they have to beat.
Yeah, they sure do. Do we have time to ask Angels, real quick? Brandon Walter, Jose Soriano, Ryan Gusto, Kyle Hendricks. You're not watching. I'm not watching. We'll move on. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, I'm not watching this. This won't be on one of my 6 TVs.
All right. We'll be back with Gray Albright from Razzball next.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back, because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play. every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right. Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Today here on SportsGrid. I'm Craig Mish along with George Kurtz. We're also joined today on the show by Ray Albright, as we always are here, of Razzball here as we get ready to wrap up the month of June, first half of the season, almost in the books. Ray, great to have you back here on the show. So, I got to start with this. Like, the NL formats here are getting a new player this week, right? Like in Rafi Devers, did everybody save their money for this player? They knew this was happening, right?
Yeah, I think Rafael Devers, I want to say maybe a little bit better than like the last guy we got, which was Keaston Herrera, I believe. It's probably he's probably going to break someone's bank. I don't think it's going to be me. Not because I don't think he can be great. I just don't think I have the money in order to get him, unfortunately. I'm assuming we have in that league we have $1,000 fab. I'm assuming probably the highest person has roughly around $900 still. I'm assuming he's going to go for upwards to $700-800. I can't imagine anyone leaves. Someone's going to put all their money down on Rafael Devers, which makes sense because like if you wait for next month's trade deadline, you're assuming someone's going to come into the league, and that isn't necessarily the case all the time. So, and then also you're losing a month of time. So if I had the money, I would spend it on Rafael Devers. I just don't have the money.
Fair enough. Okay, if you're not going after Devers, let's say you don't need Devers. How about Mizorowski if he's out there? Guy's had a great start to his career, as Craig has pointed out multiple times. The guy has more wins than hits given up so far. How you feel about Jacob Mizorowski?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say the comp on Mizorowski. Now, this might sound a little crazy for some of the old timers, but he looks to me like Randy Johnson when he was first called up and he couldn't find the strike zone, but was still completely unhittable. Like the stuff is just so nasty. I don't know if everyone's seen it, but yesterday he threw a 96-mile-per-hour slider that just put Willie Castro on his butt. And it wasn't even like, his stuff looks like you can't hit it. Forget scoring runs. I'm really surprised when people actually make contact with it. He is just so incredibly nasty. I think he's 6'7", throwing 103 miles per hour. So you're talking about the extension on that. By the time the ball gets up on the batter so fast, they have no time to react. I really rookie pitchers can be super fickle. Like there's a lot of unpredictability when it comes to rookie pitchers, but this guy looks so incredibly great. I would not be shocked to see him throw, another 60, 70 innings this year of, really solid. I mean, like I said, I don't know. Can anyone hit him? Like he looks that good, which is just not usually the case.
Great. It's kind of strange here to me. I mean, look, maybe I feel like when I do this, I'm more of a prisoner of the moment type conversation. But, Cal Raleigh has 29 home runs. That's like where I want to start with this. Okay. So he's having the best catcher season since like Piazza or something like that, right? Like it's been that good. But Gray, why am I looking around the league and seeing like Hunter Goodman and Drake Baldwin and it feels like the catchers are back for offense. Now, this may be only one season. I don't know why it's happening like this year, but in two catcher leagues, still very difficult, obviously. But in the one catcher format, like you can't get away with some scrub as like the 10th best catcher in baseball. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, no, completely. I was saying on Razzball the other day that catchers have actually surpassed second baseman for fantasy baseball right now, which hasn't. I don't think the catchers have been better than any other position, possibly as long as I've been playing fantasy, which is going back over 20 years. So catchers are never good. And this year, there's at least 12 catchers that you can have on your one catcher league that is just like not only valuable, but better than a lot of the other hitters, other hitters on your fantasy team. Right now, I would not be against, usually I'd be like, no, don't have a second catcher in a one catcher league. But if you have, say, Cal Raleigh on your fantasy team, you got lucky and you actually drafted him, and you were like, well, should I pick up, Austin Wells as my utility? I wouldn't be against it necessarily, or Wilson Contreras, or Logan O'Hoppe. There's so many guys. I mean, there is a ton of great catchers out there. Cal Raleigh specifically, though, I think we should talk about how he is on pace for not only 60-plus homers, which is absurd, obviously, but he's also on pace for 20 steals. Like, what is going on with him? He's on pace for a 60-20 year. Not forget Mike Piazza. This is like a year no one's seen. He just, I think yesterday he passed Johnny Bench for the most homers before the All-Star break. We still have like 3 weeks before the All-Star break. This is the most insane year from Cal Raleigh. Good for him, man. I honestly, in Seattle, it's shocking because it's not an easy park. We've seen what it's done to Julio Rodriguez and other players, like Randy Arozarena can't hit a homer. It's a bad park. It's not great for hitting at all. And Cal Raleigh is just amazing. It's really been pretty phenomenal to watch it.
It's been fantastic, right? We're going to stay out west there. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers. And by the way, the Dodgers-Padres, that series earlier in the week was fantastic, right? That's the new Yankee-Red Sox rivalry, by the way. Can't wait to see those two teams play each other again. Craig and I talked about it a little earlier. Shohei Ohtani, maybe he goes 2 innings tomorrow here. What are you feeling about him pitching here? When do you think you'll ever this season be putting him in your fantasy rotation as far as a pitcher is concerned here?
Yeah, I think what the Dodgers are doing is probably just slowly stretching him out. So the first game he went an inning. Maybe on Sunday he goes 2. It depends on how many pitches he needs to get through each inning, obviously. So if he goes maybe 1, he goes 1 last time, maybe 2 next time, maybe 3 if he is able to keep his pitch count down. I would say probably looking at roughly beginning of August before he's able to throw 6 innings. So I would, but at that point, I do think he could be a top 20 starter. So it's really difficult to drop a guy like that. So I would hold him on my fantasy team right now and use him as a hitter, obviously, if you have him as a hitter and a pitcher combined. But if he's just a pitcher on your team, I would hold him and use him as, you would use a middle reliever, like a great middle reliever, and get a couple innings a week from him as he stretches himself out. And then by August, hopefully you have a top 20 starter. And then, if you're in a head-to-head league, you have fantasy playoffs around the corner. So I don't think it's a bad gamble to hold on to Ohtani because he should be good. I mean, we've seen him pitch before. It's not like this is that big of an unknown. He is a great pitcher. So, yeah, I would hold on to him.
All right, Gray. Great to catch up with you here on Fantasy Sports today. Really appreciate it. We'll see you again the next couple of weeks, and then you know how we do it around here. It's time for some football here, but still some time left for baseball on FST. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Gray Albright joining us here on Fantasy Sports Today. Coming up next, we play a game of buy or sell here on FST. Just a quick programming reminder. Next week, it'll be George hosting the show. I think it'll be Joe Pisapia maybe sitting in as a guest for me. I'm taking a week off next week, headed to Cooperstown as my son's playing in a baseball tournament. So I'll be back with you in 2 weeks for July 4th weekend. You're watching Fantasy Sports Today here on SportsGrid. Hopefully you're having a great weekend as well. We'll be right back after these quick messages, so don't go away.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back, because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling
Finally.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to Fantasy Sports Today here on SportsGrid. Guess what? We've got another game in the NBA Finals coming up on Sunday, betting above the rim. We've got all coverage going this weekend as we close out the NBA season. And then guess what happens? Well, the National League East has been a little peculiar to start the season. Most people thought it would be three teams in contention: the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves, but not necessarily in that order. In fact, most thought it would be Braves or Phillies, and then maybe the Mets would be in there. Remember, the Mets were not very good last year. Mets get off to a tremendous start this season. Philly catches them. Philly dips back. The Mets catch them. The Braves are awful to start. They start going on a roll, and then they fall back yet again. Are those the three teams in contention? Let's ask George. Buy or sell? We'll go with the Mets here. The Mets will win the National League East. Is it a two-team race? It feels like a two-team race. If the Braves are getting in, it's probably a wild card.
The Mets have all sorts of problems, right? With their pitching staff. Senga's out, which is a huge loss. He got hurt on when Pete Alonso can't throw the ball to first base. Manaea's still out, been out all season. Montas going to return next week. He's been horrible in his rehab. McGill is now out. A lot of problems for the Mets. A lot of problems. Their GM Stearns generally doesn't believe in paying the money for top-notch starters, right? That's been his history. He doesn't like doing it. For various reasons, we know starting pitchers get hurt here. He doesn't want to pay the big money for guys who just aren't going to play. But they have a lot of issues, right? They're going to have to make reinforcements by the deadline here, which they can do. I mean, they have a truckload of young prospects. They can get whoever they want here. Alcantara is not going to the Mets. There's no way Miami trades him in the division, even if the Mets were interested here. But they can go out and get whoever they want here, but they're going to need to add reinforcements here. I think we're already seeing it. The Mets had a big lead over Philadelphia at one point. Now they're in second place. I think Philadelphia's going to pull away as the season goes along here. Hell, they might be up by 3 games by the end of the weekend here. So, no, I don't believe the Mets will, I'll sell. I do not believe the Mets are going to win the National League East. I think that will be Philadelphia. I think the Mets are a wild card team, which is what they were last year, right? They went to the National League Championship Series where they lost to the Dodgers here. So I think they'll be very similar again. They'll get in there. But I still think the Mets are going to be a lot like the 80s Yankees. They're going to score runs, but they're going to give up a lot too. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch this summer.
I'm going to say I'm going to buy this. I think that they have enough. I probably would have taken the Braves before the season, just to be candid here. I think the Mets will push the pedal down a little bit at the trade deadline. I think they have to. I mean, based off the year that they had last year, I think it's time for them to buy. So I'm going to buy this too. I think the Mets win. I think the Phillies finish second. And I'm not counting out the Braves. I think the Braves still very much in the mix. It's not like anyone in the National League Central has jumped out to some huge start. Their battle is going to be with the teams in the West. We'll see if the Mets can end up beating that out. Okay, a historical season for Cal Raleigh, not just for a catcher, but really for anyone. He's almost at 30 home runs this year, which is kind of crazy. He's got the most for a catcher in a single season at the All-Star break ever, past Johnny Bench. The record for home runs by a catcher in a full season is Salvador Perez in 2021. He had 48. I don't even remember that. Wow, that's crazy. All right, buy or sell. Cal Raleigh, 49 or more home runs this season, breaks the record.
Yeah, a catcher is so tough, right? You got to crouch 1,000,000 times during the summer here, during the heat here. You get hit by foul balls, you get hit by bats, runners, and everything else you got to do here. You got to worry about the pitching staff. Seattle's not a great hitter's ballpark here. That being said, I'm buying this. Yeah, I think he's gonna hit. I think he's gonna set the record. I think he's already got 29. He only needs 20 more. We're not even at the halfway mark of the season yet. All right. I think he will slow down like most catchers do in the second half for various reasons. You know, he catches a foul ball off his hand. That can certainly affect what he's doing here, but he only needs 20 more home runs. So, yes, I think he hits. I think he sets the record here. I can see mid-50s coming for Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, easy buy. Got to do the buy here. Sorry, Sam. Yeah, I'm going to double down with George. I mean, the guy, he's got 29 home runs, man. Like, I mean, 20 more? It seems like a no-brainer here. If I had to set the number at FanDuel, George, let's try and play that real quick. I probably would put it at 53.5. Would you go over or under that?
I was thinking 55.5, so I'm going over. All right, but it's catcher. It can be a little tough here because they have one little nick and he could have some problems here. But I'm going to take the over. I'm going to be positive with Cal.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Rafael Devers, that's the big story of the week. He goes from Boston to San Francisco. This is not a great place to play for offensive players. I'm going to illustrate that here coming up. I've had a lot of discussions about this. Devers, fantastic in Boston. He'll have a better career in San Francisco than he did in Boston. Buy or sell?
It depends on what you define as a better career. He might be happier in San Fran. All right. But I don't see how he's going to have a better statistical wise. You already said it, right? I mean, it's hard to hit in San Fran, especially for a left-handed hitter that's not named Barry Bonds. You know, and Devers, by the way, took advantage of that, the Green Monster. He was just a left-handed pull hitter. He hit a lot of home runs over that monster here. So, no, this is a sell for me. I think he may be a happier person. He may be glad he's out of Boston there, maybe happier on the West Coast, but he will not have a better statistical career in San Fran than he did in Boston.
Yeah, who is that list, George, of players in San Francisco that have had really good offensive careers last 20 years?
Bonds. Posey, yeah, he'd be there. Absolutely. He had a couple of really good years. Jeff Kent?
Ooh. Jeff Kent, that's the name. Brandon Belt, no. Stop. Jeff Kent, Buster Posey, Barry Bonds. 20 years. Sell. Sorry, Rafi. Not going to be fun for you out there. Finally, Jacob Mizorowski will win 2+ Cy Young Awards in his career.
Who knows? I mean, I think his arm is going to fall off. Everybody's arm does. You got Skeens in your own league here. Wheeler tells he's going to retire after 2 years, right? So I guess get rid of him here. Still got to write Strider. Sale will be gone by then. I'll sell this just on. I'll say no. He'll get at least one, but Skeens is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I got to sell this too. Sorry, Sam. Yeah, I mean, I can't bet on 2+ Cy Young Awards. The guy's made 2 starts in his life. I'm not going to play that game. All right, we got another game to play. It's called the SportsGrid 60. We're going to play it for you next.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back, because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all. It's
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside.
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
As we wrap up the show with the SportsGrid 60, a quick reminder, you can catch Joe Pisapia Match Striker Sunday morning, talking fantasy baseball as well. Let's wrap up with an oldie but a goodie. Jacob deGrom back pitching for the Texas Rangers. George and I sort of bet against him at the beginning of the season. We were kind of like, why is this guy getting drafted so high? It has worked out thus far. I mean, George, he's healthy. He's pitching great. He's pitching more to contact. Things seem to be working out. And he has allowed 2 runs fewer in 12 consecutive starts. That's the longest streak by any pitcher 35 years old or older in the modern era. Pretty impressive thus far.
He's been fantastic. I mean, it's more than impressive here. And it's also kind of ironic, right? Eovaldi, Male, Leiter, Rocker, Gray, Bradford. These are all the Texas Rangers starters. All have spent time on the IL except Jacob deGrom. So he's been great here. I think you're going with him. I know, once again, in my home league, the only reason I kept him in my home league was because Garrett Cole got hurt. He got hurt, and okay, guess I got to keep deGrom then, because I didn't have any other options there. Did not expect this. I thought he'd be solid, but I thought, he's going to make, 20 starts, whatever it is, and not be very good. But he's been fantastic. Another great start last night. So Jacob deGrom looks like the deGrom of old once again. But as you said, pitching the contract, smart, not trying to strike everybody out.
Yeah. Do you think, George, would you trade him in fantasy? I mean, it seems like this is the ultimate sell, right?
Sell high, yeah. He's the definition of sell high, because we do expect him to get hurt at some point, or maybe just not be the same pitcher in the second half, or whatever it might be here. I'll give you this. Do you think the Rangers trade him? I mean, there's a lot of news that maybe he can go back to the Mets. That's what they're talking about here.
It's a good question. I don't think so. I think Texas feels like they're built to win. Their record will dictate that, but it is a very fair question. Maybe get out from under that. All right, we got to wrap up the show with a minute of sports commentary. Let's kick it over to George as he has today's SportsGrid 60.
All right, this pretty much comes down to what do I want to complain about here. We're going to go with the All-Star game. All right. It's not so much the All-Star game when I was younger, I used to love, right? Because you didn't see all the teams, right? You had the game of the week, you had Saturday afternoon baseball on NBC or Monday night baseball on ABC with Howard Cosell. That's the only time you really got to see the other league. You didn't see the Dodgers or the Reds all that much. So at the All-Star game, seeing the uniforms was just fantastic of all the players here. And yes, I still wish to this day that the All-Star teams would wear their team uniforms. I don't want to see all-star uniforms. They're gross and ugly anyway. All right. Don't even get me started on the City Connect uniforms. They're all terrible. The Red Sox wearing yellow and wearing green. No, I like seeing the old-time uniforms here. But does anybody still care about the All-Star game? I mean, seriously, I'm always on Twitter or X, looking at the news there and all that. And, all the team Twitter sites, they show a great play like Ozzie Albies. Great play. Make sure you vote for Ozzie Albies. Yeah, he's an all-star this year. Like, anybody cares. Nobody even really watch the game anymore. So I'm not a big fan of the All-Star game, not the way it used to be. I actually kind of liked it when it did mean something. At least then it would give you some reason to watch here. See who get home field in the World Series here. I'm a big believer as far as home field is concerned. Whoever wins interleague play, that should be the league that gets home field. American League has the better record. They get home field. National League, such and such here. So I'm all over the place complaining here. But the All-Star game, just not what it used to be. And I am sick and tired of seeing all the team Twitter sites trying to pump up their players. Oh, make sure you vote for me. No.
Can you tell that Sam, our producer, George, you got to crush 2 minutes here. We got a lot of time left in the show.
I try to help. I just try to help.
You did a great job. You did a great job. I don't have this, stuff as strong as you. I will say this. As we wrap up the show, does any sport party better than the National Hockey League? I mean, have you seen what's going on with the Florida Panthers? I mean, when have they slept? Every single day I wake up in the morning and they're at some club in Miami or Fort Lauderdale or Sunrise partying until the morning. Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, Kachuk. I every day, I wake up today, they're partying somewhere else. They broke the freaking Stanley Cup. What is going on here in South Florida? I mean, they say that hockey's got the biggest partiers and it's not baseball, it's not football. I mean, how can you disagree with that? Again, they didn't win last night, did they? They didn't win the night before, did they? How many days are they doing this? Good for them, I guess. All right, that'll do it for our show today. Thanks again, George. I hope you have a great couple of weeks. I'll see you back here in 2 weeks for July 4th weekend.
Absolutely. Enjoy Cooperstown. Been a long time since I've been there. You'll have a great time with your son there. Good luck.
Thanks very much. Thanks again to Gray Albright as well as our producer, Sam. We got Betting Above the Rim next. NBA Finals coming up Sunday night. See you in a couple of weeks. Hope you guys have a great weekend.
At 7:30 p.m. Ditch the guesswork. Ben Stevens, Kevin Walsh, James Young, and Tom Vecchio have your NBA draft betting coverage pick by pick, bet by bet, all night long. We got all the insights and expert analysis because betting blind isn't a strategy. Coverage starts at 7:30 p.m. on June 25th, only on SportsGrid.
The Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, who had such a good training camp last year, and it looked like he was pretty good, I believe, in the preseason, if I'm not mistaken, ended up going down for the full year. The Vikings are still obviously committed to him.
They knew that McCarthy was going to be available at some point in June. And McCarthy actually went on record last week and confirmed 2 weeks ago he was cleared medically. He did work last week. And he's going to be their starter.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I'm with you in that you're going to have to take calculated risks. And that's what Leon Rose has been about since he's been here. And he's been measured. He hasn't been gung-ho in terms of mortgaging this franchise's future for immediate gains. They have had a prudent approach, and you're going to have to roll the dice in certain respects to get to that top level. And you're right, Donnie, when you look at next season, all things considered, you hope that they're healthy, and if they roll over, say, 85 to 90% of this roster, this is a top 3 team in the East. With Boston coming down, Milwaukee is going to come down, and so you have to figure it's going to be Indiana, the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers in some sort of order in the preseason rankings. And so where they go from here, Jason Kidd is obviously the hot name right now. Things that both sides are interested from what we've heard in terms of Kidd and the New York Knicks. Is he that championship caliber coach to take the Knicks there?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.